Let it never be said that Season 7 of HBO's Game of Thrones didn't pack a wallop in the end. When the finale was said and done, nearly every character was together, the house was cleaned on the most vile of bad guys, and the tide of the war against the dead shifted in Peril's favor. Spoiler alert, the remainder of this article will discuss Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7. There is a lot to cover with this episode, but it's worth mentioning that it started off as one of the slower outings for this season. For a while there, it almost looked like fans would be disappointed. However, the highly teased armistice negotiations ended up being the worst part of an all-around great episode. We open in King's Landing, where every leader of every faction is on the scene to convince Cersei Lannister to agree to a truce and help fight the ever-growing army of the dead. While it was grim business, it allowed Tyrion to reunite with Podrick, the Hound, to show Brienne of Tarth that there's no hard feelings for, well, killing him, and much more. They all met at an old Targaryen fighting pit in King's Landing, and out of all the important people there, it was the Hound that spoke first. For the first time in years, he was in the same location as his brother, the newly zombified Mountain. He goads his brother, joking that he looks better than him for the first time in their lives. However, in what was surely a disappointment for those hoping for an epic throwdown amongst the Clegane brothers, the Hound told the Mountain that he wasn't there for him, and that he knows who is coming for him. Sadly, that mystery doesn't get an answer as the younger sibling storms off to fetch Jon Snow and Daenerys' big bargaining chip. Cersei and the rest are reluctant to even consider a truce since they don't trust the foreign invader, but having a member of the army of the dead rush headlong at her really seemed to change her tune. That wasn't the case for her husband-to-be, though. Euron Greyjoy took one look at the White and asked if they can swim. When Jon responded in the negative, he told everyone that he was done and would be sailing back to the Iron Islands to wait out whatever was to come. He stormed off, and took his offer to free Yara Greyjoy if Theon submitted with him. Cersei, on the other hand, agrees to the truce assuming Jon Snow will remain neutral and lead the North to do the same. It would have been simple, and even smart, for him to lie. Instead, he confesses that he's pledged himself to Daenerys already. When enough people make false promises, words stop meaning anything, he says. Then there are no answers, just better and better lies. While the action was noble, it kind of shot all the negotiations in the foot, as Cersei said she wouldn't agree to a truce and would rather see the North fall to the army of the dead than fight them on two fronts. This forces Tyrion to make a bold move and have a one-on-one with his sister. Escorted by the Mountain, he joins her and removes the elephant from the room. He brings up their father, her fallen children, and every other grievance she may have with him before directly shouting for the Mountain to cut him down. However, his sister never gives the order, prompting Tyrion to take a hearty gulp of the wine nearby. In what soon became one of the most tense moments in the show, he realizes what he's done and offers Cersei a glass, which she does not accept. Could the hero of Blackwater Bay and countless other, smaller, victories have been poisoned? No. Instead, Cersei tells him that her goal is not necessarily sitting on the Iron Throne, but ensuring that her loved ones are safe. Between that and the wine, Tyrion pieces together that she's pregnant. The group returns to the fighting pit, where Cersei agrees to fight alongside the living against the dead in a temporary truce. Despite the tension, it all felt a little too easy, which it was, but let's put a pin in that. In Winterfell, things are finally coming to a head between Arya and Sansa. All season long, Littlefinger has been driving a wedge between the two sisters. So far, neither of them has been clever enough to figure him out, or so it seems. While counseling Sansa about Arya's strange behavior, he walks her down a line of reasoning that suggests she's out to steal the title of Lady of Winterfell from Sansa. After some consideration, Sansa tells a guard to summon Arya to the hall. When she arrives, it looks like Arya has shown up to her own execution, and likely that of a few guards as well. However, with Brandon in the room, things take a turn. She tells Arya that they're there for a matter of honor, to stop any that would seek to betray her family or home. With that, she lays charges of treason and murder against Peter Baelish. Boom. That's right, after skulking behind every major event that's happened in Westeros this past decade, Littlefinger is finally on trial for his ascent up the ladder of chaos. Thanks to B.